Welcome to Triumph IAS. It's a daily mains practice question and answer series. This program is exclusively designed for UPSC CSE aspirants. In this video discussion, we will discuss UPSC CSE mains previous 25-year questions. Question number 1. How can the mountain ecosystem be restored from the negative impact of development initiatives and tourism? Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Mountains, homes of the gods, sources of life-giving waters, gigantic monuments of rock and ice that for centuries posed as impenetrable boundaries, are increasingly falling vulnerable to human sporting endurance, to an onslaught of travelers seeking escape from cluttered lives, and to demands on natural resources and cultural institutions that far exceed capacities. The main body of the answer should be number 1. Development initiatives and tourism activities often involve the development and intense use of tracks, paths and sports slopes by vehicles, non-motorized transport, and pedestrian traffic. Number 2. Visitor presence is also usually concentrated in small areas, contributing to increased noise and waste. The negative environmental effects of poorly managed development initiatives and tourism can include vegetation clearing and soil erosion, removal of scarce habitat, altering of critical landscapes and water flows, water and air pollution, and wildlife relocation or behavioral changes. Number 3. The introduction of exotic and invasive species and diseases can also have a significant negative impact on local plant and animal species. Number 4. Adopt appropriate land use planning and watershed management practices for sustainable development of mountain ecosystem. Adopt best practice norms for infrastructure construction in mountain regions to avoid or minimize damage to sensitive ecosystems and despoiling of landscapes. Number 5. Encourage cultivation of traditional varieties of crops and horticulture by promotion of organic farming, enabling farmers to realize a price premium. Number 6. Promote sustainable tourism through adoption of best practice norms of eco-friendly and responsible tourism, creation of appropriate facilities and access to ecological resources, and multi-stakeholder partnerships to enable local communities to gain livelihoods while leveraging financial, technical, and managerial capacities of investors. Number 7. Take measures to regulate tourist inflows into mountain regions to ensure that these remain within the carrying capacity of the mountain ecology. Consider unique mountainscapes as entities with incomparable values in developing strategies for their protection. Conclusion of the answer is multi-year destination strategy and associated business plans, e.g. land use plans with landscape zoning concepts, carrying capacity assessments and environmental auditing of tourism service providers, must be made mandatory and should include a focus on sustainability and sustainable tourism that consists of environmental, economic, social, cultural, quality, health, and safety issues. Question number 2. The local self-government system in India has not proved to be an effective instrument of governance. Critically examine the statement and give your views to improve the situation. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. The 73rd and 74th Constitution Amendment Acts of 1992 institutionalized the local self-government in rural and urban areas respectively. However, post 25 years of institutionalization of local self-government as the third tier of Indian democracy, it is evident that the institution of Panchayati Raj has not lived up to its expectations. The main body of the answer should be number 1. So far, less than half of states have transferred all the 29 subjects of the 11th schedule to the PRIs. Only few states have managed to arrange sufficient finances for the local bodies. Number 2. The elections to the panchayats are marred by corruption and nepotism. The caste factor plays an important role in elections. Number 3. The PRIs are perceived by the state government as merely a body subordinate to them. Central government has failed to do enough to make PRIs financially viable. Number 4. There are widespread instances of administrative conflict between the PRIs and the district administration. Number 5. However, despite of all the shortcoming, PRIs have also registered some remarkable success in many aspects. Number 6. For example, it has created a large cadre of politically active people at the ground level. Many panchayats have done sufficiently well in creating assets at village level through schemes like Magnrega. Number 7. 1/3 reservation to women has ensured the political empowerment of women. Conclusion of the answer is: PRIs should be given more means to raise their finances. External financial support is also required. Experts from the private sector should be rolled into the PRIs. Besides, social audit should be encouraged to increase transparency. Question number 3. Stem cell therapy is gaining popularity in India to treat a wide variety of medical conditions including leukemia, thalassemia, damaged cornea, and several burns. Describe briefly what stem cell therapy is and what advantages it has over other treatments. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Stem cells are the body's raw material cells from which all other cells with specialized functions are generated. Stem cell therapy uses a patient's own stem cells to repair damaged tissue and other injuries. The main body of the answer should be: Number 1. Stem cell therapy is used to treat more than 80 disorders including neuromuscular and degenerative disorders. Ego bone marrow transplant is used in leukemia, blood cancer, sickle cell anemia, immune deficiency disorders, etc. Number 2. Stem cells are usually taken from one of the two areas in the patient's body, that is bone marrow or adipose, fat, tissue in their upper thigh abdomen. Number 3. The sample of concentrated stem cells is then injected directly into the patient's affected area that results in growth of new skin cells and connective tissues. Advantages of stem cell therapy. Number 1. The stem cell research allows the scientists to test a number of potential medicines and drugs without carrying out actual tests on animals and humans. Number 2. It offers a lot of medical benefits in the therapeutic cloning and regenerative medicine. Number 3. It has great potential in the treatment of a number of conditions like Parkinson's disease, spinal cord injuries, Alzheimer's disease, schizophrenia, cancer, diabetes, etc. Number 4. A higher understanding will allow the treatment of the abnormal development in the human body. The risk of rejection is minimal as it uses the cells of patient's own body. Conclusion of the answer is: however, the stem cell therapy also has certain disadvantages. Since it is completely new technology, the long-term effects of such an interference with nature are still unknown.